Jade City by Fonda Lee is a Booktube darling. I've heard overwhelmingly positive things about this book and the Greenbone saga series in general, but was it worth the hype? You see the like button? You see the subscribe button? Press both. I review all types of books on this channel, and there's some video essays and social commentary videos too. For the scores, Jade City gets the following: plot 82, characters 92, Hilo and Shay are my favourites. There's just so much drama between them. Emotional impact 80, pacing 84. The pacing is really good and it elevated during the fourth quarter, and Lee times this perfectly. It's not like a crazy page turner, but it still moves at quite a fast pace, which, is what you want at least. Writing style 80, themes 88. This is an Asian inspired fantasy. There's a lot about religion, honor, family, pride. Uniqueness 94, book cover 70, overall score 84.2. This is an urban fantasy that is set in a special land in Asia. This particular country is the only country that produces this commodity called Jade. When worn, Jade gives its users enhanced power. The 6 disciplines of Jade are strength, steel, perception, lightness, deflection, and channeling, all of which provide the user with elevated powers over a normal human being. Jade can be worn on and off, and there are just so many side effects to Jade in general, and Fonda Lee just portrays this perfectly. There is only a certain kind of creed of people who can wear and handle Jade, but only after strict training. If a different kind of person tries to wear Jade and they don't have the necessary training for the discipline, or they're from a different sort of bloodline, the results are disastrous. And it's kind of similar to major drug withdrawal. You get those kind of symptoms. We see madness and death. It's called the itches in this book. So yeah, so Jade isn't all good. And as noted in the book, Jade enhanced senses and the power of perception endowed Greenbones with so much nuance and clarity about the world around them. But it didn't, in the end, offer up any great truth and proof of the gods or hope that people could ever be anything more than what they were. This of course doesn't stop foreign powers from being involved in jade markets, among other things, and it doesn't stop criminals and people looking to take a chance to get lucky from being involved in, the trade of jade. I was captured by this book within the very first pages of it. Lee does a great job showing how valuable jade is and the lengths that all sorts of people go to acquire it, even dumb kids. As this is an Asian inspired fantasy, themes such as honor and family are important and are mentioned throughout this book. Fonda Lee shows glimpses of the characters' personal trials and tribulations, all of which relate some way to honor, family, tradition, history, love. I liked it because the varying reactions from the characters gave me a glimpse into what they're like and how others perceive them also. The main characters, especially the ones, the Greenbones, definitely have a reputation, even amongst other Greenbones and even amongst the general public as well. The big conflict in this book is between the two major jade-wearing clans, No Peak and the Mountain Clan. There's a map at the beginning of the book that shows the different shades of the city that each clan controls. This becomes very important. Lee lets it know that there are disputes over territory all the time. And this clan's rivalry isn't the only one in the books. As I mentioned previously, Shay and Hilo are my favorite characters, and they are the younger siblings in the No Peak clan, and their rivalry and histories is on point. There's a scene in this book that we get from Shay's perspective about a distinct time in their childhoods, and now as a woman, she's reflecting on her teenage self. Her thoughts in this particular chapter shed a lot of light about Hilo and his friends and the loyalties. I had already bought Jade War, which is book 2, and I was low-key grimacing, and I was just like, do I care? Do I not care? But shortly after, something happened and it got very interesting very quickly. Like I said, Fonda Lee timed her elevation in the book perfectly, and this book picked up by the fourth quarter. Things go left and now moves need to be made in order to survive. Again, Shay and Hilo are just such good characters, it's crazy. I love hearing about their childhood and their judgments of one another, but it's great when they're a team, because even though they have a lot of conflicts and they're very wary of one another, it's actually kind of beautiful when they team up because they complement each other really well. It's clear that they both have a certain respect for the other person in terms of their strengths and what they can do once they get going, even though they operate in two different realms. The rest of the book is very fast paced and I like that it picked up. Not that it was slow before, but this is the type of story that deserves a need for speed approach. The moving pieces are just done so well by Lee. The characters' desires, wants, honor, lusts, revenge, everything. It's very well done. Add in the political intrigue on top of that and, well, you get quite the book. Lee's writing style is quite good as well. Very accessible. This isn't a complex read by any stretch of the imagination. And that's a good thing. Definitely a good thing. So yes, Booktube is right to love this book. And I'm very glad I read it. I don't love it. I see why people love it. I don't love it personally, but I really like it, which is good. You know, I'm going to continue with the series and I can't wait to finish the trilogy. I'll probably get to the rest of the series early next year. In the meantime, you can get more book recommendations in this playlist. Trust me, there's something for everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.